What up, world? You done found the Super Facts Show on the Super Facts Network. Follow us on Instagram at the Super Facts Show. On Facebook, subscribe to the Super Facts Network. If you want to watch the episodes, it's available on YouTube and Facebook. And then if you want to hear it, it's wherever you get your podcast, Stitcher, Deezer, Google Play, Spotify, Amazon, Apple Podcasts, etc., etc. So make sure you go ahead and do that. Rate, review, like, subscribe, follow all that good stuff people be asking you for. We won't be asking you for no money. And also make sure you subscribe to St. Laz, New York City's greatest storyteller and occasional co-host of the show. All right, y'all go ahead and enjoy the episode after you do all that. What up, world? It's your boy Mark Walter Ward, Super Facts Show, Super Facts Network. You know, I had a little bit issue with some scheduling this week for the guests and all that. And I can't leave y'all without content. So even though I never asked for no mailbag, I get people asking me questions. So some of them's emails, some of them's on the show's Facebook page. Make sure you go like that, the Super Facts Network, like and follow. You can get the podcast and video and audio form there. Um Instagram DMs, whatever. So with no further ado, and let's see if y'all let me know if y'all like this. I'm gonna do a mailbag episode. All right. First question, we got Tamika from A-Leaf. Shout out A-Leaf Swats. What's my favorite vinyl and Funko? By vinyl, I assume she means record because Funkos is made out of vinyl. So I'd have to break that down. I like this Killmonger What If variant. I think it was a Target exclusive, but in the What If series, he won the Black Panther, and that's Ultron head, and it's just hard to find. If not, probably that Killmonger with the mask, the big jump. That was the variant in Funkos for people who like want to collect them and resell them and shit. They keep them in the box and they look for the Chase variants. Those little TLC jumps you see, this blue, that's like the waterfall Chase variant. But you would buy like the regular Left Eye, and then you might luck out and get the I don't know, the blue Left Eye around here somewhere, or you can buy the variant as it is for like $50 on Amazon and shit. But I don't be spending that. I got lucky. And then I love Ice Cube in the '64 Impala. That be in the back on that table. Y'all be watching these Jones. You should look at the back. It's some shit on there. Man, I could tell you a story about where that Newport tray came from. Pat. All right. And then vinyls, in case she was talking about records. I think I might know Tamika too. Shout out Tamika. This is SAS, the European group that was down with Dipset, who has had a incredible career since they left the folds of the set as you would. But I mean, it must still be good. They began like mad Cameron features and everything. Their album Galaxy Flies a classic too. But like, this is just a beautiful piece of vinyl. I love the color. This is called Celestial. SAS did it up. Plus, they can rap like shit. I always thought they was the best UK rappers I ever heard. Some of them cats, I ain't gonna say no names, that they was trying to push out there as like that was gonna cross over into America music on some like Beatles or Rolling Stone shit. I think SAS better than all them motherfuckers. But then as far as like what I've listened to the most, it's either that Diplomatic Immunity up there, but man, it's always gonna go with the Pimp. So this Riding Dirty. I mean, I probably done listened to High Life 15,000 times. And then as far as the ones I own, my favorite cover is this Schoolie D. You know what I mean? This literally the first gangster rap album ever. Get On Down reissued it for Record Store Day in 2015, I believe. And my man drew the cover himself, and at first was selling it out the truck before he got with this man Chris from Rough House, now Rough Nation Records, Chris Schwartz, who wrote an awesome book. Y'all should check that out. And he signed the Fuji, Cypress Hill, Crisscross. I don't know if he signed Crisscross, but he put out the their first album. He signed DMX too, but way before the Rough Riders. And it's just a beautiful piece of vinyl. So there we go for that one. Here, let me look at the next question so I don't waste your time putting this shit together. All right, let's see what we got here. This comes from Todd from Springfield. Like the Simpsons. I don't know, Springfield, Virginia, Springfield, Illinois. What is my advice for moving to a Black community? I mean, what ethnicity are you? My advice for moving to a Black community. Don't look at it as no Black community. Look at it as a community. Take part in it. Encourage it, uplift it, help educate the youth. Be an asset to your community. That'd be my advice to anything. I mean, where do they live? Like, I mean, race can be somewhat of a denominator combined with socioeconomic status and geography to come up with some, broad stroke predictions that might be accurate most of the time. But for the most part, don't know. I mean, what kind of Black community is it? Like, it could be Tiger Woods community, and you damn sure act different than that if it was I don't know, where I grew up at. Don't bet money you don't have. Don't call the police on your neighbors. Yeah, don't call the police on your neighbors. That'd be my that'd be a good rule. Yeah, so there you go. That's my advice. Don't call police on your neighbors. And I think my wife was fucking with me. I had her put these together. Yeah, okay. This comes from Damien from Bowie. I know where that is. Bowie, Maryland. Was I ever, matter of fact, I know this motherfucker too. People think they funny. Was I ever raped in jail? Nah, I was never raped in jail. Not even really tried on that level. Everybody gets tried, but never on that level. However, in Virginia, I was in this camp White Post where like the same place you peed, where the bathrooms were, where the sinks were to brush your teeth, and where people took showers was all in one thing, and nothing was above waist height, so everything was in sight. And every now and then at nighttime, homosexual acts would occur in there, and you might go up into the bathroom. But this was like a place for people that was about to go home, so it wasn't really no raping going on. When I was in this, well, I ain't gonna say no states. I don't want people knowing shit about me. But when I was in this shit where I was in like the maximum, I was in the violent charge wing of a county jail in South Carolina, and I remember this dude had a gambling debt, and he told homeboy was probably like 35, and the cat who owed the money was like 19, and he was like, "Hey, look, man, I'm either gonna get that motherfucking money before we go to bed, or after lights out, I'm gonna get blood on my knife or shit on my dick." And I mean, I just never forget that shit. Whenever I hear about jail rape, I can vividly see that. Tyrone from Cleveland. Shit, I wonder if that's Tyrone Hill. Matter of fact, shout out my man Ty Hill with the podcast. Cards Up. Check that out. Are there any rappers I don't like? Huh. This is a little bit of a paragraph here. Basically, they saying I'm always like super favorable. I mean, as I should. If you want to make a show about rap, why would you want to make a show about music you don't like? I mean, I got that Logic Funko back there, but to be real with you, the only Logic song I know is that Suicide Joint. I don't really dislike them. To be real with you, back in the day, I used to not like hearing Busta Rhymes in the club sometimes. That shit make you be about to go insane. I mean, I guess for the sake of honesty, I think Joyner Lucas is a little bit overrated, but then he's made some damn thought-provoking songs. Yeah. I remember I've always admired Eminem's technical craft, but I've never particularly related to his music except that first Aftermath album where he'd have some songs about how hard it was to be a working man. But again, I've always admired his technical proficiency. I probably got like 5 or 6 of his CDs, but I felt no compulsion to get any of the vinyls or anything. Dislike. I dislike when Future was had like a hit song out talking about using addictive drugs and then said he don't do none of that shit. I don't see the social commentary on that. That's the glamorization, but that's somebody action, and it ain't for me to judge nobody. So, Josh from Kansas City. Why are you such a wigger? I believe that's a combination of the W and the N. of white in the N word. Think like B-Rad, Malibu's Most Wanted. I don't know no newer versions of that shit. Think Instagram. Think white cats that live around me in Tampa who all call each other the N-word and got guns even though they ain't never been to no danger. Like not like hunting rifles like the Oakley camouflage fishing hook and they cap heads, but like motherfuckers would be wearing they pants to their knees and they on like 7 pairs of popular jeans ago and shit. Yeah, these motherfuckers like Under Armour and shit. Um, me, what's my man's name? Mr. Josh, sir. I'm just a product of my environment. My cousins lived in a white neighborhood in Virginia. If I grown up where they grown up at, I probably act totally different. But I grew up in Forest Heights, Maryland, right on the line to some of the worst parts of DC. Motherfuckers getting killed in my school. The only thing to do was play basketball. I never had a video game system. Shit, I remember having a black and white TV. So I'm outside and play basketball, read books. I'm a product of my environment. Motherfuckers was rapping, motherfuckers was playing basketball. I earned acceptance off the strength of my personality. I earned disacceptance sometimes off the strength of my personality or perhaps even my race. I don't find anything to be all the way cut and dry across the board about any group of people, no matter how you compartmentalize them. That's funny though. I do love Malibu's Most Wanted. Why are you such a wig? But nah, man, I'm the product of my environment. I can't be fake. Look me up. I got receipts. You know, I ain't been subjected to too much motherfucking white privilege and all that shit. And I do understand that I could put on like some suit or some shit and like at least forward face and be judged differently. But I got felonies, bro. They ain't never coming off my motherfucking record. That shit fucks up my kid's life, man. A motherfucking wigger. Shit. I wish I had grown up somewhere different. Well, I mean, I don't though, for real though. I wish shit worked out differently, but I guess that was supposed to be either funny or insulting because I see that came from Instagram, but yeah, I don't give a fuck about that. All right, Dennis from Berkeley. Dennis from Berkeley. Some of this shit gotta be made up. Shout out the Learys, the Merry Pranksters and all that shit. Why do I call myself sober if I'm always smoking weed? Well, Dennis from Berkeley, that's what they call California sober. I don't use alcohol. I mean, I ain't gonna front. I used to be addicted to cocaine. Definitely done my share of Molly, back before it was called Molly, where it was when we called it E, and we had like triple stacks with Mitsubishi logos and shit on them, Lucky Charms logos and shit. I remember they had some state property too, Jones, one time. But I ain't never want to do cocaine was the only thing that was really problematic, and I ain't never want to do that outside of drinking. And then drinking is more problematic than all that shit put together. And I ain't had to drink in over a decade. So there you go. I don't necessarily know that you lose sobriety if you smoke weed. I mean, take away the prescription issue. If you made weed tea, would you not be sober? I mean, some of that maybe in perception is reality because of the fact that you smoke it. And then I don't know. Can you really be sober if you're addicted to nicotine? How you like? I'm not trying to shit on AA, but how you sober if you're addicted to something? So, but yeah, do you? And if you look down upon me for doing that, and it makes you want to be more circumspect in your life and use less drugs or whatever, or be more healthy, shit, I always encourage people to be healthy. So, whatever works for you. Do I believe in white privilege and systemic racism? And have I ever experienced racism? April from Sacramento. All right. Do I believe in white privilege? If you get pulled over by the police in a mixed race area, you're probably going to benefit from white privilege. There's white privilege in the courtroom. Sometimes when I see white people acting entitled and it's labeled as white privilege, it's just, that's like some rich bougie motherfucker that thinks that they can do whatever they want. And that shit seems to know no racial bounds. And then like, what are you asking? Like globally? I guess, I mean, I don't know. I ain't that educated about that shit. I was mostly the only white person in the room, so I didn't experience white privilege personally because I didn't have white people to give it to me. Being married to a white woman when I was first dating her, there was a couple of times we got pulled over, and I was amazed at the lack of attention to the detail that I had previously witnessed from law enforcement officials when I got pulled over with my black friends in white neighborhoods, black neighborhoods, mixed neighborhoods, rich neighborhoods, poor neighborhoods. So on that level, yeah. But I mean, it's a lot of poor white people in this country that ain't getting their white privilege check. So I mean, to be real with you, I believe in financial privilege, and that might be easier to obtain for a white person. But convincing poor people that they enemy, that they're each other's enemy, is what is what allows this to continue. Whatever it is, anything that holds people back outside of the basis of what they can earn, their abilities. And have I ever experienced racism? I mean, I don't know. I've had a cop chain me to a dumpster and leave me there for hours and call me an end lover. I've been in cars that got pulled over where nobody was doing anything wrong except they was black with fitted hats and loud music. That's definitely racism. I don't know, did I experience it? I mean, shit, I caught charges some of them times. I remember when I first moved, I lived in a black, almost all black neighborhood till I was 7. I lived in a white neighborhood till I was 13, but hardly anybody ever went outside. So it was almost like being in like I Am Legend or some shit most of the time. Then I moved back to the black neighborhood, the popping black neighborhood doing crack. And until we moved near my wife's parents in their golden years, I've always lived inside the black community. I went to a black college, Job Corps, all that shit. And I remember when I first moved back to Forest Heights, one day it was raining. And when I got on the bus, I ain't been there that long, but I was starting to get somewhat accepted. I mean, I have some friends and all that shit. Little gals slide me their number and all that good stuff. And I'm like 13. I had a Cybertech purple and black Gore, or Columbia purple and black Gore-Tex rain suit. It was raining. Had a little hat to go with it and all that shit. Crushing it. Had a little purple polo underneath of it. Had some I don't remember. Oh, I had some Barclays. I had some motherfucker them second Air Max Barclays with the sun color. So at first I'm thinking they looking at me because I'm jive saucy and shit. But nah, they just staring at me. So finally my man, I'm like, yo, why is everybody just looking at me? And they're like, they want to see if you smell like dog. Because apparently, at least while I lived in PG County, it was understood amongst my peer group that when white people got wet, they smelled like dog. Did that shit hurt my feelings or scar me? Hell no. I thought that shit was funny as a motherfucker. I still laugh about it all the time. So I don't know if it's. I don't even know how motherfuckers define shit. Is it racism if I found it humorous and it didn't bother me? I don't know. I don't give a fuck. All right, Jeremy from Philly. Who do I consider to be some underrated legends in rap overall and from between 2005 and 2015? Damn, I should have read these shits before. Underrated legends? God, I mean, at this point, like Rakim is underrated. Slick Rick is underrated. Biz Markie's underrated. The way they was talking about DMX after he died, it seemed to me like he was a little bit underrated. And sometimes, man, this term legend gets thrown around a little loosely. Sometimes I think legend gets confused with longevity. But to be fair, when I'm trying to butter somebody up to get them to come on my show, I might refer to somebody of that stature as a legend. But most of the times, though, they was at least a legend to me because I had the album when it was like on cassette and listened to it over and over back when you couldn't get who overrated. Or underrated legends. So I'm trying to look around at the shit behind me. Underrated legends. I think Jewel's probably might have lost a little bit of the luster in comparison to what he achieved. Fabulous with his unfortunate situations. I'm not sure if either of them reached legend status. I don't even know how you define. DJ Screw's an underrated legend. Missy Elliott's an underrated legend. I'm sure she'd fit that. Man, 2005 to 2015, you're going to kill me. I guess Jeezy, T-Pain. T-Pain had the illest live show I've ever seen. I've seen millions of them. Well, no, that's an exaggeration. I've seen hundreds of them. Big Crit in DC and T-Pain in Orlando is the two best shows I've ever seen. Man, on this Big Crit, Return of the Feather, like came out that week. Concert on Friday, Smokers Club, Freddie Gibbs, Smoke DZA, yada yada yada. Man, this project could have been out 3 days. This dude from Mississippi before he even on Def Jam in DC in I forget, it wasn't the 930 Club, but it was a joint that had like at least 800 people. Smokers Club tour. Man, every person in the audience knew every word of this project. It couldn't even been like 4 days old. I'll never forget that shit. It was like going to church for real. All right. Oh damn, the next question was the best concert. So shit, there you go. All right, now I got Mike from Andrews Air Force Base. Oh, shout out for the best concert. That was Freddie from Mobile. I'm definitely rocking with Alabama. What was my worst interview? I usually don't like saying no negative shit, but you know what? On this one, I'll go with that because it wasn't Homeboy's fault because he was nice and gracious. Smoked DZA on the same night as Big Crit. I called him at like well after everything was over, and he was just so motherfucking high. And then man, the weed he had, whew, I mean, trust me, I've been around some shit. I went to prison for weed, and that was the illest smelling bud I ever smelled in my motherfucking life. Now I see there's more on the back, but oh, these just lists. Okay. All right. So then I got this, okay, anonymous. I watched the Taj from the Senate episode where you referred to him as one of the top lyricists in the whole Dipset affiliates. Can you give me your lyrical rank of individual Dipset artists and affiliates? I guess by affiliates, I mean groups. I mean, off the top of my head, all right, individually, that's pretty easy. Number one, I got Cameron. Number two, I got Taj and Noe. You know Noe from Bird Gang. The Notorious KID is on Dat Piff. It's one of the best just pieces of lyricism I've ever heard. Depending on how you want to look at it. So that jumps us to four since they tied. I'm gonna say Jim Jones since the ghost of Rich Porter and getting stronger by the minute. These next three are pretty interchangeable for me. 5, 6, and 7, I got Hell Rel, J Bezel, and SAS. 8, I got 40 Cal. 9, I got JL Ryder. 10, I got Mel Matrix / Mel Murder. And then tied with that, even though I know it makes it 11, I gotta say Richmond Rab. Go back and listen to that Skull Gang, man. And I believe it's Bad Like Cook Crack Part 2. His name just Rab on that. He on one of the last songs. Richmond Rab could spit. And then Mad at the Skull Gang people released out mixtapes you can find on Dat Piff, and anyone Richmond Rab was on, his verse just stood out. All right, so then as far as the affiliates, and don't hold me to this because I don't know this shit off the top of my head. Shit, I'm looking on the wall behind me. I see a bunch of them. Harrell Jones, Top Gunners. What was 40 Cal Jones? Scheme Team. All right, so shit, let me just start at the top. I'm gonna do 10. I got Dipset, Bird Gang. See, I don't know, does UN count as Dipset? I mean, I'm sure they count as affiliates. So then I go UN, then I go Purple City, then the Senate, then Euro Gang. And then like, I mean, I don't know, how do you rank like Top Gunners, Thunderbirds, and I already said Skull Gang and Scheme Team. I mean, shout out Young Ace, shout out Cliff Poe. I put them all as a tie. Top Gunners, Thunderbirds, Baltimore Bangers, and I guess I put the Taliban with Luca Brasi and them on Casa, whatever that consisted of, then Dipset West. So there you go. That's the first mailbag episode. Let me know if y'all like it. If you will, if you do, I'll drop some more. If not, y'all feed the content guys. Y'all take it light now.